If you're hunting for a reliable pickup truck, but your wallet is screaming for mercy, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the 5 budget pickup trucks that mechanics themselves would buy. And trust me, when the people who fix these things for a living give their seal of approval, you need to pay attention. These aren't just cheap trucks. They're the ones that'll keep running long after fancier models have left you stranded on the side of the road. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button and smash the like if you're serious about making a smart truck purchase. Drop a comment below and tell me, which pickup truck are you driving right now? And what's been your biggest headache with it? Your experience might help someone else make a better choice.
Let's start with a truck that's basically become a meme for reliability. The older Toyota Tacomas, especially models from the early 2000s through around 2015, are what mechanics point to when someone asks for a truck that simply refuses to die. There's a reason you see these things with 300,000 miles still hauling loads like they just rolled off the lot. The secret isn't magic. It's straightforward engineering that Toyota perfected decades ago and just kept refining. What makes mechanics love the Tacoma is how simple everything is under the hood. When something does eventually need fixing, and everything needs fixing eventually, you're not dealing with 10 layers of complicated electronics or proprietary parts that cost a fortune. The engine design is clean and logical, which means your mechanic can diagnose problems quickly, and parts are sitting on shelves at pretty much every auto parts store in the country. Time is money in a repair shop, and when a mechanic can fix your Tacoma in 2 hours instead of 6, you're saving serious cash. The Tacoma also holds its value like almost nothing else in the truck world. Even a 10-year-old model with decent mileage will still command a respectable price, which tells you everything about how much people trust these trucks. It's a midsize option, so you're getting something manageable for daily driving that won't guzzle gas like a full-size monster, but you've still got real capability when you need to tow a trailer or load up the bed with supplies. For someone wanting a budget truck that won't become a money pit, the Tacoma is the gold standard.
Moving to American territory, the Ford Ranger from 2019 and older generations gets serious respect from mechanics who've seen them rack up miles without drama. Ford built these Rangers tough, with engines that just keep firing year after year. You could get them with either a reliable 4-cylinder or a gutsy V6, and both options have proven themselves over decades of real-world use. What mechanics really appreciate about the Ranger is that Ford didn't overcomplicate things. These trucks were designed when manufacturers still believed in mechanical simplicity over cramming every possible electronic feature into a vehicle. That means when you need a repair, you're dealing with straightforward systems that any competent mechanic understands. There's no hunting through computer diagnostics for phantom electrical gremlins or replacing $1,000 sensors that control 12 different systems. Parts availability is another huge win for the Ranger. Because Ford sold millions of these trucks and they share components with other Ford vehicles, finding what you need is easy and affordable. You're not paying premium prices for rare parts or waiting weeks for something to ship from overseas. The Ranger also delivers surprisingly decent fuel economy for a pickup, especially with the 4-cylinder engine, which means your budget takes less of a beating every time you fill up. It's the right size for people who need truck capability without the bulk of a full-size model, making it practical for city life while still being ready for work when you need it.
If you need the space and capability of a full-size truck, but can't swing new truck prices, mechanics consistently point toward the Chevrolet Silverado 1500 from the 2007 to 2013 range. These trucks represent a sweet spot in Chevy's history, where they were building them solid and simple before the arms race of technology took over. You're getting real truck capability, strong V8 power, and a design that's straightforward enough that handy owners can tackle some repairs themselves. The Silverado's V8 engines from this era are known for their durability and straightforward mechanical systems. They're not pushing crazy horsepower numbers with turbochargers and complex fuel injection systems that can fail expensively. They're traditional American V8s that mechanics understand completely, which translates directly into lower labor costs when something needs attention. These engines can easily push past 200,000 miles with regular maintenance, and the transmissions paired with them have similarly good reputations. One of the biggest advantages of choosing the Silverado from these years is the aftermarket support. Because these trucks were everywhere and still are, the market for parts is massive. Whether you need something from a junkyard, an aftermarket supplier, or even the dealer, you've got options and competition that keep prices reasonable. For towing and hauling, these Silverados punch well above their budget price point. You're getting a truck that can handle serious work, whether that's towing a boat, moving furniture, or hauling materials for a job site, without spending full-size money on something newer.
Here's a truck that doesn't get nearly enough attention but has mechanics singing its praises, especially the models from 2005 through 2015. The Nissan Frontier built a reputation for being basically indestructible, with engines and transmissions that just refuse to quit. Part of why this truck flies under the radar is that Nissan didn't update it much during those years, which sounds like a negative until you realize that means they perfected a design and stuck with it, instead of introducing new problems with constant changes. Mechanics love the Frontier because it lacks the complex technology that plagues newer vehicles. You're dealing with proven mechanical systems that don't have 10 computers arguing with each other about what's wrong. When something breaks, diagnosis is straightforward, repairs are logical, and you're not replacing expensive electronic modules because a sensor read wrong one time. The simplicity is actually a feature, not a bug, especially when you're trying to keep costs down. These Frontiers regularly cruise past 200,000 miles with nothing more than scheduled maintenance, oil changes, brake jobs, and the occasional wear item replacement. The owner base for these trucks is incredibly loyal, which tells you everything about real-world satisfaction. They're mid-sized trucks that deliver on capability without trying to be something they're not. You get enough power for daily driving and weekend projects, reasonable fuel economy compared to larger trucks, and a price point that makes them accessible for budget-conscious buyers who still need real truck utility.
Rounding out our list is the Dodge Ram 1500 from 2003 to 2008, trucks that mechanics recommend despite their reputation being slightly less bulletproof than Toyota or Ford. What these Rams bring to the table is serious power and capability at bargain prices, especially now that they've depreciated. The engines are strong and durable, particularly the V8 options, and the chassis is built to handle real work without complaining. The reason mechanics feel comfortable recommending these Rams is parts availability and widespread repair knowledge. Because so many of these trucks were sold and independent shops have been working on them for years, finding someone who can fix yours isn't difficult, and neither is sourcing parts. The aftermarket support is strong, which keeps costs reasonable, and the mechanical systems are straightforward enough that repairs don't become complicated nightmares. You're trading a slightly rougher ride quality compared to some competitors, but you're gaining serious hauling and towing capacity that rivals trucks costing much more. For someone who needs full-size truck capability on a tight budget, these Rams deliver real value. The powertrain in particular has proven reliable when maintained properly, which is really what you're betting on with any used truck purchase. Keep up with oil changes and routine maintenance, and these Rams will keep working long after you've paid them off.
When mechanics stake their reputation on recommending certain trucks, they're drawing from years of experience seeing what holds up and what falls apart. These 5 trucks share common traits that make them smart budget choices. They're all built on proven platforms with durable engines and drivetrains that have logged millions of real-world miles across thousands of owners. Simple design philosophy means repairs stay affordable and accessible instead of requiring specialized equipment or dealer-only diagnostics. The familiarity factor matters more than people realize, because mechanics see these trucks constantly. They know the common issues, the quick fixes, and the parts that typically fail first. That knowledge translates into faster diagnoses and lower labor bills for you. These trucks also balance power and fuel efficiency better than many alternatives in their classes, which means your operating costs stay reasonable even as gas prices fluctuate. Versatility is another key advantage. All 5 of these trucks work for daily driving, handle job site demands, manage weekend projects, and can even tackle light off-road adventures. You're not buying something that only does one thing well. You're getting a legitimate, multi-purpose vehicle that adapts to your life.
Finding the right budget pickup truck requires more than just picking a good model. You need to evaluate the specific vehicle in front of you. Always check maintenance records thoroughly. You want to see evidence of regular oil changes, scheduled maintenance, and how previous owners handled any major repairs. A truck with spotty records is a gamble you shouldn't take, even if the price seems amazing. Prioritize vehicles with fewer owners and verified mileage. A truck that's been passed around multiple times in just a few years is a red flag that something might be wrong. Before you hand over any money, invest in a pre-purchase inspection from a trusted mechanic. Spending $100 up front can save you thousands in hidden problems down the road. Pay special attention to rust, especially if you're in an area where roads get salted in winter. Rust can compromise structural integrity and turn a cheap truck into an expensive nightmare. Similarly, look for signs of poor quality repairs or accident damage that wasn't fixed properly. Finally, remember that the purchase price is just the beginning. Factor in insurance costs, registration fees, and realistic fuel expenses to make sure the truck actually fits your budget long-term. These 5 budget pickup trucks represent the smartest choices for anyone who needs reliable transportation without breaking the bank. The Toyota Tacoma brings legendary reliability. The Ford Ranger offers practical toughness. The Chevy Silverado delivers full-size capability at mid-size prices. The Nissan Frontier provides underrated dependability. And the Dodge Ram brings serious power for less money. What ties them all together is that mechanics who fix trucks for a living trust them enough to recommend them, and that endorsement is worth more than any marketing campaign. The right budget truck is out there waiting for you, and now you know which models to hunt for and why they make sense. Do your homework, inspect carefully, and don't rush the process. A smart purchase today means years of reliable service ahead. If this video helped you narrow down your search, hit that like button, drop a comment telling me which truck you're leaning toward, and subscribe for more honest automotive advice that'll save you money and headaches. Now get out there and find your perfect budget pickup truck.